So you are live now. I go ahead and time is
6:47. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call the meeting to order. Heather's still wrapping up with her rehearsal. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with recognizing any guest attendance. I heard Sarah Bloom.
Yeah.
Is a guest.
down on the bottom, I think.
Right down there in the bottom, yeah.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for joining us.
Sarah, I think you left a set of mittens when you were here with costumes. So
You can hear
when you come by for ushering, I can't hear,
I'm gonna have to apologize because we can't hear you guys very well. Can you hear us?
could we maybe just bring them down towards where, here's Heather.
Oh, and here's Heather. Heather already called me. So.
Oh, sorry guys, I'm so
That's
sorry
okay.
we're running so late tonight.
I just recognized the guests we had in attendance, and I was moving on to proxy votes. Were there any? I didn't receive any emails about any proxy votes. Has anyone heard from anybody who's not in attendance about a proxy vote? All right.
No, Ashley and Chris will not be here.
Okay. So, do you want to continue on with the acceptance of past minutes?
Sure. Did everybody get the minutes and any questions, issues? Okay, is there a motion to accept?
I'll motion.
Ed motions, is there a second?
I'll second.
Holly seconds, all those in favor of last month's minutes?
Someone on the Zoom call has a radio playing.
All those opposed? All those abstain? All right, minutes passed. Treasury report, Ken?
Treasury report. As of 1/29, First Western checking 55,955.63. First Western savings 67,683.17. First Western renovation account is $2,000.21. Big score in interest there. And the Bremer is at $50,423.22. Pending expenses that I had at that time, United Fire Group, $556. $1,226.73 to the Ward County Treasurer. 9507 for SRT, 5228 for Minot Water for this building, 4220 for Minot Water for the apartment building, 25667 to Excel. The annual report for nonprofit organizations has been filed with the Secretary of State. That's an annual report. It's always due the first of February.
And this is to what again?
See, it's to the Secretary of State, and it is the report all nonprofit organizations have to
For
file
nonprofit?
annually.
Okay.
Basically, it just has the officers on it. Quarterly sales tax report was filed. That was also due February 1st. Again, it was 0. We now are able to do invoicing to be paid either however by check or by credit card or by bank transfer. And that gets posted directly in the First Western. That puts us into a need for our reports to be on an accrual basis, because when we issue an invoice, it's considered a pledge. That's money that's pledged to us. And that goes into accounts receivable. That makes it an accrual account. Okay, not a big deal. It's just how the bookkeeping works. Invoicing was put in place because some places want to see an invoice when they agree to give us money. And as we go forward, selling advertising, selling sponsorships, capital campaign, so on, I would foresee that quite a lot of that would happen through invoicing. So it's a good tool to have, and it presents a much more professional image. So that's basically it.
Thank you. All right, so our organizational committees, Kathy with grants.
You're muted.
You'll have to find, I'm muted, wouldn't I?
It would be better.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so, we have set up the beginnings of a capital campaign committee for the lobby renovation. Our external members are Shane Zabak, Kevin Newhart, Lori Garn, and myself, and then Sabrina Herman. And internal members are Aisha, John Fishpaw, Ken, Randy, and Heather. And if somebody has a burning desire to be part of this, but I didn't connect with you yet, I apologize, and we'll certainly take more people, but that's kind of who we've contacted right now. We're at the beginning stages of kind of coming up with a catchy name for the campaign. I've gotten some feedback from Aisha and John on that, but we're gonna wait. The campaign committee has its first meeting this Thursday, and so we'll invite them to weigh in on that as well. Our first step is to do a feasibility study, which means, okay, the board wants to go forward with this, but at this time, with COVID and everything else, will we be able to raise the money? That's what a feasibility study would look at. So that's going to be one of the first jobs of the committee, as well as just to talk about, in general, how we want to go about this and what would work. We did have a meeting last week with Todd from Ackerman and Esco, and it was very helpful. He's given me some visuals now that we can use to kind of show what we're trying to do. And he kind of explained that as we go forward with this project, they take about 3 months then to go from their initial estimate to actually bidding out the project. They call that the planning phase. So that in itself will take about 3 months. And then the construction, he estimates, will take another 3 months. So we would try to time that, obviously, so the construction itself takes place after the last show ends in May, not this year, but hopefully next year, or worst case scenario, the year after that. Brittany has agreed to do a brochure for the campaign, and Courtney has agreed to do a poster. So now that I have the visuals, I'll be sending them the materials. I'm just waiting to kind of get a theme to go with it from the committee on Thursday. Then I'll send those out. Montreal Players has already paid $4,500 to Ackerman and Esco for the cost of the estimate. And I would just like to know, this is totally up to the board, of course, whether MRP should donate any further funds from savings to the lobby restoration project. Any decisions to contribute more than what we've already done obviously have to be balanced with other pending repair costs and things that are also priorities. So that'll be something y'all want to weigh up. If we had an additional donation from MRP of $5,500, that would enable us to say that MRP has contributed a total of $10,000 to the project. Just some other grants that we're working on. We put in a hospitality economic resiliency grant. Was submitted on Sunday for a total amount of $9,500 and some odd dollars. And there's a breakdown of that between utilities, insurance, and marketing. We don't know if we'll get that much. They didn't want to see anything that was done before March 27th, and our $5,000 insurance amount was put in right at the end of February, but it was for the whole year. So we figured out how much 9 months would be, and we also accept that, but we don't know. We'll find out. All we know is that they received the grant. We're also considering submission of what's called a GIG grant, which is Grow, Invest, Gather, through our remainder of the program. This grant is to support us to bring in professional actors to do a show. And so we have to learn what their definition of professional artists, not actors, artists are. So I'm going to take part in a webinar on March 2nd and try to get the answer to that question, and then we can go further. The group that's involved with that has also discussed other options for bringing in an artist, but nothing's been decided. And I think funding through Children's Theater is the priority. And then just this afternoon, I submitted my first grant for the capital campaign to Henry Electric. And it's a small grant, relatively, of $2,500, but it'd be nice if we could start saying to people that we're starting to see some money come in on this, so that you just have to break the ice somewhere.
Thank you, Kathy.
Do the 5,500 and put it toward our capital campaign project.
Okay.
I will second that.
Okay, Holly has motioned, Ed has second that we transfer $5,500 to the capital campaign fund. All those in favor?
Can we get a count from down there? 'Cause it's hard for me to
Penny,
see.
Signy, Penny and Sign, and Nancy?
Is Nancy's too?
Yeah, Nancy was the yay.
And Randy raises his hand.
Randy raised his hand. All those opposed?
Sarah
All
will be able to
those-
get it.
All those abstain?
I'm abstaining.
Okay, Linda's abstaining.
Oh.
Motion as carried with 7 votes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7, 8 if Nancy was on. Yep, so that would be 8.
So motion as carried. So Ken, do you want to transfer that?
I'll take care of it.
Thank you. Okay. Another thing with grants, sorry, we're sticking with grants here for a few minutes. One of the grants was called an institutional grant that we talked about this last week. And with that, we would need a paid employee, which a year and a half ago or so, we had a paid employee. We had an artistic director, and it was Lynn. And we didn't renew that position this last year.
Just to give you some background on that, the institutional grant is from, thanks Heather, I forgot to even talk about that, is from the North Dakota Council on the Arts. And we contacted them to see if we could get money for the capital campaign, but they don't fund those things. What they do is just fund straight up operating costs through what they call an institutional grant. But they're contingent on the entity must have one paid position.
And I believe it has to be an actual payroll position.
But
Qualify.
not board member. It wouldn't have to be a board member.
Paid staff.
Correct.
And so we can use that money then if we're successful, which their cycle doesn't come up for another year or so, but we can use that to offset the savings that we're giving to the capital company.
Right.
For the loss thereof.
So I guess we don't have to make any decisions on this right now since it's a ways out, right, Kathy? But if you would, think about it, maybe we'll talk more about it next meeting. But if you are interested in such a position as artistic director,
Or whatever it
Or-
gets to be called.
right, it wouldn't have to be called that. Somebody who's kind of, keeping us a little bit more organized type of thing, and
Office manager.
office manager duties. Maybe you were the voicemail person. Maybe, somebody
The
who,
biggest thing is coming up with the actual duties.
right, yeah,
And that's probably the biggest problem is we could put, believe it or not, a tremendous amount of duties in a position like that. And I can tell you from having been there, it would become very uncontrollable for a single person.
yeah.
But if it's a limited
Control.
number of things and directions,
Yeah.
so that it can be handled by a single person, that is a wiser way to go.
So,
And it doesn't have to be full-time either.
right, no, it wouldn't be full-time, and, but if you're interested in such a thing, like, over the next month, especially after this weekend is over, I can start, kind of jotting down some ideas of what this might look like. But if you are interested in something like this, or know somebody that might be
Or you have input of what you think
right,
is needed.
please send the emails my way and let me know, and then we'll discuss it more in March, so. Or April. But, okay, that's all I have for that. Kathy, anything else? Okay, thank you. Social media, Brittany?
Yes, not a lot of significant movement on social media, just holding steady for the most part. Last month I had brought up the idea of doing some giveaways for our upcoming actual shows. I know it would be kind of short notice on first night, but we could still do something like giving away a pair of tickets for just the Sunday matinee for Valentine's Day, play it off as a date night or whatever. And that could get up and moving right away, do the giveaway. But I would also like to do one for Blythe Spirit, maybe a pair of tickets for that one. That we can do across our social media platforms just to get more engagement, more likes, more clicks, all of that. Making sure people are seeing us, interacting with us, and getting the information. If that's something that we're able to do, I would love to make that happen.
We are
Can a pair of
definitely-
tickets be set up in time, quickly enough to do it for?
There's still some seats left.
And I feel like,
Filling fast.
if we do
Okay.
something like 2 tickets on Sunday and just give away, it's not open for negotiation, these are the tickets that you get. They're for our Sunday matinee, our Valentine's Day matinee. That way, we don't have to worry about giving away the tickets and then they're being like, oh, I can only go on Saturday, there are no seats left.
Yeah.
We'll know that those seats are available for those people, and then it would just extend our time to be able to do the giveaway also.
If we want to do that, I'll just go ahead and reserve the seats right away.
Perfect. So I would love to make that happen.
Okay, any thoughts about Brittany doing this for first and for Blythe? More generic, whatever type of thing they want to?
I would motion we should go ahead with it.
Okay,
I'll second.
then motion, Polly second, that we go ahead with promotional tickets for Brittany's, Facebook. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstain? Everybody, so, motion carries, so go for it, lady. Thank you.
I'll get that up and running starting.
Okay. In the handicap
In the real, the ADA chairs.
Cool. All we can have.
And I'll get that up and running
That's
starting
what we
tomorrow.
got, they're empty. They're unused right
Perfect,
now.
thanks.
So, yeah, of course, thank you. And that's it.
Yes, okay. It's like, I didn't want to skip on you. Box office, Ken?
Okay, box office, the last time I looked, which was sometime this afternoon, I think we had 191 tickets sold, which is really good. We were down, I think there are 25, last I looked, around 25 seats left on Sunday, and similar, it's very evenly spread out amongst the four performances, which is really kind of good. We did run into an interesting glitch Friday.
Or this weekend.
Was it?
Well, I don't know, maybe it was
I
Friday.
don't remember.
Maybe.
Anyway, suddenly it came up and it said that February 14th had all tickets reserved, even though there were 27 seats left. And I went through, couldn't look for what a reason. That was on Saturday, and ended up putting in a trouble ticket to Arts People, which I wasn't sure that when they were going to respond, because their website says they are closed except for emergencies on Saturday and Sunday. Well, yesterday, something caught my eye. I got an email saying that there had been a staff reservation made for 25 seats or 26 seats.
Staff?
Well, when I looked at the name, and it turns out it was someone from Arts People. They had created a tool at one time for the social distancing. And under the theory that no good deed goes unpunished, it had unforeseen circumstances. It worked fine for general admission venues, and it blew up on assigned seat venues. So they came up with a workaround and they were testing it. Basically, that's what happened when they put in a reservation for 26 seats.
It's up and working now.
And they fixed it. At least they got a workaround and they're working on a permanent solution. So it's working, bottom line.
Thank you for taking care of that.
I did put on the ticketing site for Live Spirit is in there. I have not published it yet. I don't intend to publish it until the 15th.
And did we change the
I changed the pricing to $10 across the board.
Okay.
And I also put in a note on the website that for people who had season passes that they could not use last year, or who had tickets for which they did not ask for a refund, to let us know, and I will issue them a gratis pass, flex pass for 2 seats to be used for Live Spirit only. So any season passes that I can identify, because those I think I can find, I will just email them a pass for the 2 seats, plus anybody who says, yep, I had tickets, I never got a refund, but I want to see the show, and they can come. So
So it's something that we need to write up for our newsletter at all?
it's on the website.
Well, yeah, but people don't just check the
We can put it in a newsletter, but I'm not ready to send that out
Yeah.
yet.
okay, well, I'm just wondering.
That would happen after February 15th.
Oh, okay.
That's box office.
Thank you. Let's see, shows coming up. This weekend, we have first night. Katie's not on. She was gonna check on some downtown things, but I didn't hear back, so I'm not sure about that.
I did check with High Third, their person. They don't have any specials, but, they were willing to, include us on their, that a few steps, what would that be, north? You could take your honey for drinks and food and then a show, all in the same week. I don't know, I can come up with something if we want to do that.
I think we have most of the volunteers. If you kind of still volunteer, I think maybe Sunday an usher, but anyways, yeah. So thank you guys for signing up, and if you didn't get a chance to and you still want to, please let me know.
Heather, what day was that you needed Usher for?
Sunday,
Sunday the 14th?
Valentine's.
I just looked at TJ, he was like, that's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
That's why a lot of people are coming.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, everything's going great. The actors are doing awesome and we're excited. They're not excited for the big crowd that's coming, but they're gonna do great. So keep reassuring them. March, Randy's he tested the Pink Panther this weekend and things are looking good for that. We'll send out a volunteer list here in a couple weeks, I guess, huh? I'll do that.
Can we get a larger print of the picture so that when it goes outside, we can make a nicer picture on it?
April, auditions will be on the 20th, 22nd, and 23rd for Blythe Spirit.
March.
February,
No, right,
February, when?
Sorry.
February 20th, 22nd, and 23rd.
Time.
And the 22nd and 23rd start at 6:30 till about 8. The 20th, I believe, is 9 to 2.
1 to 2:30.
1 to
1 to
2:30?
2:30?
Yeah, that's what Tim texted me because I asked for the bulletin.
That's
Well,
okay.
We'll try to announce it with the times and stuff, because I haven't been putting the times on it, but I'll try to, when we do announcements at the show this weekend. Say
Well,
they are? Oh. Let's see. But the stage is, 75% there already, 90% there.
There will be stage work that will need to be done. A lot of the set dressing and stuff will need to be
Yeah.
redone. And once we know who's gonna be doing the roles, costuming may be a nightmare, but, we need Ruth, Charles, and Edith. So, big roles. I had a question with Blythe Spirit. Would the newsletter want a copy of the new Blythe Spirit poster?
Yes.
What's the best format
For what?
For the
newsletter?
newsletter, for the
Sent it
poster.
to me last time.
Right, Courtney sent it
last
to you
night.
for the website, but I'm talking about the
I'll use
newsletter.
the same.
It's the same one.
Okay, so
Use the same one.
Ken has
I
it,
got
Yeah.
it.
okay.
The only thing I don't have is the image that gets printed on the ticket. I think Brittany did it last time. I'm not sure. Courtney said she didn't.
She didn't do it, yeah. Do we really need it
Well, you need something. It has to
on a
be.
ticket that most people
Yeah,
don't
I
even
know,
print?
I know, but it has to be there. I can't save the record. It's gotta be there, required field.
So,
Just put Blythe Spirit.
Yeah.
You don't need a
It has to be
picture or
something.
anything.
I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll use the one we had last year, it's just got the wrong dates on it.
Can we put it, we can't put like a stand-in of the MRP logo or?
I'd put any JPEG that's the right format.
I mean, to me, just put the words Blythe Spirit and
Okay.
the dates.
Never mind, I'll fix it.
And I have heard a lot of people are auditioning, so that's good.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah. I
Poor
heard
Jim's
some pretty
getting a little
good,
panicky.
pretty good people that are auditioning, so. Lynn, radio show, anything right now, or?
Probably be doing the auditions, either just before Blythe Spirit or just after. It's not going to take much rehearsal, as
Is
we
it all
know.
Reader's Theater?
Same as it was for Oak Park.
Perfect. All right, anything else? Ed?
What?
Finance report.
Oh, okay.
What? No?
Oh, did you have it in a different format than this?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
a little bit
I was like,
different.
it's like way up there.
Well, I tried to break out what was organizational and what was committee.
We met last Monday. Normal stuff. We went over to clarify some of the finance reports, just to clear up any gaps or explain any cells that were left blank. We did talk about some of the new business that's already been discussed, like the capital campaign, feasibility of the lobby renovation, media resources needed, things like that. We also discussed the purchase of a SDXC card for use with Macca's camera because they got new camera equipment. And then we also discussed tablet and dedicated desk computer, which are going to come up later during the meeting. That's about it.
All right, thank you. Concessions, we are pretty good. I know Marketplace this week until Tuesday night has big packs of water for $1.99. So we did buy 3, but if anybody's at Marketplace and wants to grab a thing of water.
I have 2 12-packs of Dr. Pepper,
Okay.
but I noticed we could probably use the cream and Barks.
Oh,
I was looking at it tonight.
okay.
And then we also need creamer packages if we're gonna do the coffee.
So we talked about, because it's gonna be such a cold weekend, that maybe we could do coffee and teas. Does anybody have a problem with that? No, I think it's just, we're back to kind of a normal show type of thing, so might as well offer that up, So let's see, we'll need to buy packets of creamer. A creamer?
Yeah, we have sugar packets.
Anything else with that? Good. Okay, house, Lynn or Nancy?
The only thing that I have is Tim created a rolling box that fits underneath the stage that will hold all of the black display drapes when they come down.
Yeah, it's really nice. He did a great job.
And he also added an extra level area in the flat rack, which is for like the wainscoting and shorter pieces of hardboard and things like that. Not flats, just a little additional breakdown of storage.
Him and the boys, right? We had a couple of boys helping. Ed and
Yeah, my
and,
son.
Danny were helping too, so that was great. So that's cool. Nancy, did you have anything? No, okay.
So one thing I did, we got the new vacuum. It's all put together. It's in the bathroom. I mounted it in there, so
I'm just joking.
it's on the back side.
Keep going.
Okay. So it's mounted in the extra bathroom. It has to be on there to charge. So
It's kind of out of the way, but then, we do know where it's at. Everybody
Is it back
puts
to
it
you?
back in
Yes.
the same place. Doesn't get lost. There are extra parts in the office. I'm not really sure where we all want to store those extra parts and pieces and filters, but I'll talk to you guys after this. See. Randy building.
Mint Construction gave me an updated proposal after they came back and having to drill through 2 big beams and the cost of electricity. We think the washer dryer install, when we go to do that, would be better off in the kitchen downstairs. So he gave us a new bid. This is to provide all materials and labor to install 2 flush mounted valves, toilet seats, and valves in the unisex bathroom. Install the locks on the new doors, or install locks on the doors, which they don't currently have. And then remove the urinal and cap the plumbing in the men's room. And then we can take and turn that into whatever we want, another storage room or whatever. So that'll just take some work on our part. Yes.
When you said install new door locks, is that on the partitions or the door
The
itself?
partitions in the bathroom lock. Partitions will have the
So it's on the
locks.
partitions. Okay.
Yes. So, and that new quote was $1,925 to new toilets and all that stuff. So
I looked
about $900.
I looked at
cheaper,
the
I
old
think.
one and it's $961 less. I'm assuming, since we're not going to be, doing the washer box.
Yep.
And that kind of thing, so.
$900 plus, that didn't even include electric too, so
Right.
900 plus a lot more if we were thinking electric, so.
Yes, and
I would like to make a motion that we proceed with this proposal.
A second.
Okay, Ed? Nancy, did
Just
you have?
have a question. Does the sink